Check, check. 1, 2. Check. Wicked. Check, check. 1, 2. Check. Wicked.
Remember the pictures of the ones that you put on your head, the old time ones, had a sort of a bottleneck on it. And then that's what he had, 3 of those. And the tape.
Tell me who's going to play.
I don't know the teams yet. Sorry. Because they have changed the schedule a lot, so I'm not sure. They changed the schedule a lot, so the teams... Right now it's the 6 o'clock match, not the one before. Yeah, so everything has changed a bit. Yeah.
Those 3 plus the go quick. 49.
They had to write it down in the scorebook, right? So I'll check if they can go without
The game, I have no idea which game it is. Between the visiting Nova Scotia East Mastodons and the Newfoundland Galway Hitmen. Your lineups. Leading off for Nova Scotia and playing center field, number 2, Nick White. Batting second, the catcher, number 27, Cam Patton. Batting third, the left fielder, number 4, Travis Heatherman. Batting fourth, designated player number 7, Brody Fraser. Batting eighth, right fielder number 81, Hope Powell. Batting sixth, the first baseman number 92, Callan Puma. Batting seventh, the shortstop number 11, Rowan Sears. Batting eighth, the third baseman number 55, Jake Hopewell. Batting ninth, the second baseman number 21, Levi Denny. And not batting, but pitching, I think it's number 41, Justin Schofield. Your whole Mastodon, Mastodon. This is the Galway Hitmen that are the home. Leading off, batting first, number 91, the shortstop, Shane Bowler. Batting second, the fielder, number 27, Jordan Conroy. Batting third, the center fielder, number 11, Brad Ezekiel. Batting fourth, the pitcher, number 6, Colin Walsh. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 10, Jason Hill. Batting sixth, the second baseman, number 44, Peter Kavanaugh. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 23, Ryan Marr. Batting eighth, the designated player, number 20, Sean Cleary. Batting ninth, the right fielder, number 94, Mark Corbett. And catching, but not hitting, is number 14, Blair Pittman. Leading off is the center fielder, number 2, Keith Ford.
All right, good evening. Welcome to Peter Hallman Ball Yard for another big game here during the Canadian Softball Men's Fast Pitch Championships presented by Kitchener Fastball Promotions. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. It's a battle between the East Hants Mastodons and the Galway Hitmen. So the game already underway as we're speaking. The Mastodons taking the plate first. Nick White in the box. And that's Colin Walsh on the mound. That one called strike there. That'll bring the count to 2-1, excuse me. And for those just tuning in today, I'm Justin Kohler up in the booth, joined for this game by Steve Sabarin. Steve, should be a really fun one today.
Yeah, two great teams. A lot of talent on both lineups as White strikes out for the first out of the game. Colin Walsh getting the start for Galloway in the pitcher circle. He'll be backed up. Jason Hill at first. Second base, Peter Kavanaugh. Third base, Ryan Maher. It'll be at shortstop, Shane Boland. Left field, Jordan Pomeroy. Center, Brad Ezekiel. And in right field will be Mark Corbett. Blake Pittman behind the plate to help out his pitcher, Colin Walsh.
So we get straight into the second batter here. This is Cam Patton. Swung on, a little dribbler over towards the pitcher. The catcher not able to come up with it cleanly.
Yeah, it looked like Pittman let it bounce once, see if it had any backspin to go foul, but it wasn't going anywhere. So little excuse me chopper to get the base runner on.
So one man on here early on in the top of the first, one out. That'll bring Travis Nevin up, the left fielder in the contest for the Mastodons. The first pitch to him coming in. Finds the zone right at the bottom for strike one. Walsh getting ahead early in this batter. So a strikeout, a single. Has the call he wants on the mound, gets set. That pitch comes in, swung on and missed. A quick 0-2 count here on Nevin.
So this is an elimination game. Whoever wins this contest will play the winner of Sook Loggers and Bear Creek Express. East Hants Mastodons beat the Waterdown Hammer 3-1 earlier today to reach this point.
It's been quite a competitive few days across the tournament. Of course, the U23 tournament all wrapped up. The men's still continuing as that next pitch just a bit outside for ball one.
Galway falling to the Saskatoon Jacks earlier today, 3-2 in a close contest. So the Jacks and Toronto Batmen will play tonight to see who goes straight to the final.
That last one, a great matchup, was a whole lot of fun to watch. Very competitive. Galway took the loss in that one, a tight one as that one's popped up. First baseman under it, able to make the grab. That was Hill able to make the grab over at first base. So that'll bring us to 2 outs here in the top of the first.
Good change of speeds by Walsh to get Nevin out in front of that one and pop him up.
Saw a lot of those in that last game. Cleary, he's still in the lineup. He was the pitcher in that one. Did a great job, very efficient. Walsh hoping to follow suit in terms of how he pitched in that one in this game now. So 2 outs, Patton over at first. First one swung on and missed. This is Brody Fraser in the box now. The left-handed batter. Walsh set, has the pitch he wants, and the delivery. That one goes in, catches the zone. Fraser looks like he was holding off on that one, might be waiting for a particular pitch to come in. If he gets on, Kobe Kroll warming up. So another quick 0-2 count here. And the pitch. That one drifts outside. Bring it to a 1-2 count.
Walsh really moving the ball around in these early, on the batters early here. High, low, inside, outside. Trying to keep them guessing every pitch.
It's very important, especially when you can get ahead 0-2. You can kind of move it around. As that one sent up in the sky there. Drifting well foul. The third baseman, Marr, made a little bit of a trek. Didn't go too far, but before turning right back around.
Another change up there. It just floated a little high right into the wheelhouse of Frazier, but couldn't get all of it.
So the count remains 1-2. Again, Patton over on first. A single and a strikeout and a pop-up so far in the inning. Walsh gets set, gets in his spot. And the 1-2. That one just a bit outside. Evening the count up at 2-2 here with 2 out. It's the count 2-2. Top of the first, still plenty of ball left to play. And that one, a check swing there, and then he'll get the called strikeout on that one. Oh, maybe not. I guess the catcher looked like he got it. They'll check the swing down to the second base umpire. Ruled he did not swing, so that'll push a full count.
Hill not happy with the call. There was no call from the home plate umpire. They had to appeal down to second base.
We've seen a few delayed calls from some of the umpires in these games. The catcher immediately getting up and walking towards his side, and that one swung on and missed. There's the strikeout, the second for Walsh in this one. A very efficient top of the first so far for him. 2 strikeouts, 1 hit. No damage done early on. Really shaping into a beautiful Saturday evening here. A lot better than some of the weather we've gotten throughout the week. 2 days with some pretty hefty rain delays. Bit of overcast here, but really a beautiful, kind of warming up Saturday night.
Yeah, kudos to the ground crew and the organizers to get everything back on track throughout the week. A couple of lengthy rain delays. Field conditions fantastic. And right now, this evening, as the sun starts to settle to the west, beautiful setup for playoff fastball here at Peter Holman Ball Yard. For the East Hans Mastodons, their defensive setup, first base will be Jeremy O'Reilly. Check that. First base will be Callum Bouma. At second base will be Levi Denny. Over at third, Jake Hopewell. Shortstop is Rowan Sears. Left field, Travis Nevin. Center's Nick White. Right field is Kobe Crowell. And the pitcher will be Justin Schofield. In behind the plate, Cam Patton. And the umpires for this evening's game: at first base, Dave Harrington. Third base, Dennis Roth. And behind the plate will be Daryl Helmer.
So still a whole lot of ball left here as we just enter the bottom of the second. Again, a do-or-die game between the Galway Hitmen and the East Hans Mastodons. A whole lot of fun. Should be a really good matchup. We've seen plenty of good ball from these two teams throughout the round-robin series, now entering into the playoff portion of the tournament. Schofield seen plenty of action over the past few days as well. And he gets set. Boland in the box to kick things off. First pitch just a bit too far downstairs. That'll kick things off with ball 1. Boland, the right-handed batter, the shortstop in today's contest for Galway. And the 0-1. That one checks his swing on that one. Drops below the zone. That'll bring it to an early 2-0 count. So Boland off to a nice early 2-0 count. Schofield looking to find the zone early on. It's that one a bit inside there. A close one, but Boland backing up off the plate. 3 balls, no strikes the count. Boland taking that one all the way no matter what. Did not flinch for even a second on that pitch. It's the first strike of the ball game by Schofield. Now 3-1 the count. Boland will be followed up by Jordan Pomeroy and Brad Ezekiel after him. And the 3-1 swung on, popped well up, a rocket up in the sky. The catcher moving around, trying to track it, not able to collect it there.
That's a gift for Boland, as the catcher Patton had trouble tracking that one down. It backed him up a little bit. Boland's got another life.
Seen it a couple times this week. Sometimes those pop-ups almost right in the air can almost knuckle a little bit depending on how much rotation it has. Makes it easier said than done for some of these players to come up with it.
Yeah, now you walk a dangerous line, giving the batter another life.
The full count pitch swung on, drilled over towards left field. And that'll be a nice little single as it touches the grass. Quick to get it in. So Boland starts things off for the Hitmen with a single. A solid shot over to left field.
Took what was given to him there to make sure he got on base. Again, the pop-up behind home plate dropped, and Boland doing what a leadoff hitter does best and gets on.
So that'll bring up Jordan Pomeroy, the left-handed batter. He's the left fielder in this contest. That one swung on, fouled right back. And yeah, you really mentioned it there. Was given a gift. The catcher not able to collect that one on that pop-up, and he turns it immediately the next pitch into a single. That's the game for you sometimes, really. So Schofield set the next pitch. That one's a bit too low there. They'll even the count at 1-1.
Boland getting a really good jump off first base there on the delivery. Really stretching that hop.
So the even 1-1 count goes in. Pomeroy having to back up a little bit. Looks like it clipped him. And he'll be hit by the pitch, make his way over towards first, and suddenly 2 on, 1 in scoring position. Still none out in the inning.
We've seen it time and time again this tournament. The teams that get an early lead really helps them out down the stretch. It's going to be up to Schofield and company here to try to shut things down, but it's not going to be easy with the 3 and 4 hitters coming up.
Ezekiel very upright in his stance. Hit a big triple in the last game to almost lead off the game in the first. Got Galway off to an early lead. He'd love to replicate it here with 2 men on. Ezekiel, the center fielder once again. The 1-0 pitch. That one a called strike. Catches the inner part of the plate. So still none out here. The score 0 between both teams. 2 men on. That's Boland over at second. Pomeroy over at first. Next one. Just a bit too far upstairs. That'll bring it to a 2-1 count. The shortstop, Colin Walsh, now warming up. He's up next. Still a whole lot of ball left, but the Galway Hitmen really setting themselves up to strike early, potentially. The pitcher, Schofield, calls time.
Yeah, now he wants to discuss things with his teammate Patton to make sure everything is communicated properly. The other thing the Mastodons have to be aware is the speed on the base paths.
Can always be a danger. We've seen a few double steals at this point in the tournament. Potential likely scenario. Sometimes teams also just employing the hit and run on these swings too. In either case, speed being a key factor. As that pitch just a bit too far downstairs. The catcher, Patton, really tried to frame that one up, get the call to go his pitcher's way. So 3-1 the count. One more ball will load the bases. Still no outs here, bottom of the first. And the next pitch, it's down and inside. That'll be ball 4. The bases are loaded here. A single, a hit by pitch, and a walk to start the game.
Dangerous hitter coming up in Colin Walsh. She's in the 4th spot for a reason. And now a discussion in the pitcher's circle. Nowhere to put him. They're going to have to go after Walsh. And I'd have to say advantage to the hitter right now because of the situation.
Well, it really looks like Schofield has had a tough time really locating the zone. Been very close, no drastically far off pitches here, but just not a lot of calls going his way. A lot of stuff just a little bit off the plate. As more of these batters get a few more looks at the pitches, we might find them starting to hold off a little bit more. We might try and see them draw a few more walks early on. Try and tire out the arm of the starter here.
Well, here's the thing for Walsh is you got a little bit of leeway. Schofield hasn't hit the zone, so you can be choosy here and wait for one that gets into your wheelhouse.
And the first pitch to Walsh catches the top part of the zone. Strike 1 called. So the base is loaded early on. A really dangerous spot here. The next pitch swung on by Walsh.
That was a great rise ball by Schofield. Got the call at the top of the zone on the first pitch and just climbed the ladder a little bit to get the batter to swing.
I wouldn't be terribly shocked if we saw something off speed on this next one. Either upstairs dropping in the zone or something downstairs too dropping out of it. So that one's lower. Looks like it hits his foot. The pitcher might be arguing this one a little bit as Walsh makes his way over towards first. Almost
the umpires are going to possibly discuss this. Walsh immediately put the bat down and ran to first base. There was no indication from the umpire right away, and Schofield immediately went to the home plate umpire.
Immediately saw
and
him.
He's going to direct Walsh back to the plate.
Walsh might have been hit. There's also the chance he might have been trying to sell it there. In either case, he's upset. He didn't get the call to go his way.
There was no immediate call from the umpire as the batter went straight down to first base. And a discussion between all 3 officials, and they're going to say, no, it didn't hit Walsh.
Coaching staff clearly a little bit upset on the call there. The count remains 2-1 now. Galway looking to get up to an early lead in the bottom of the first. The 1-2 pitch coming in. Swung on, drilled right back to the backstop there.
Nice foul off there. Not much Walsh could do with that pitch, but got a piece of it to keep the at-bat going.
Always got a battle in these spots. Tough sometimes not to want to play hero ball with the bases loaded early on. The opportunity to give your team a solid lead, but oftentimes small ball can win it as well. You don't need to club it all the way to the outfield in some cases. A hit, a walk will score a run here. And the 1-2 swung on, drilled over towards the third base bag. They make the throw home. No chance over at first base, but they do prevent a run from scoring. Great defense there. That was Hopewell who made the catch and then threw it over to home plate.
Yeah, again, good speed down the baseline by Hill. Patton turned to look to first base, but the throwing lane right into the back of the runner, and Hill was almost to the bag anyway. So only one on that play, but base is still loaded now.
So fielder's choice for Hill. He's over at first. Ezekiel over at second. Pomeroy now at third base. 1 out in the inning. Still a tied ball game as well.
Yeah, check that. Walsh at first, Hill at the plate.
So Hill, the left-handed batter.
Now this lineup just doesn't get any easier.
one. Upstairs for a ball. 1-1 the count.
First 5 hitters in this Galway lineup have mixed in with Canada's national program at one time or another, so plenty of experience.
Base is still loaded. Even something deep will score a run here as that one swung on and missed. Schofield now up to 22 pitches in the game. Kavanaugh, the second baseman, he's on deck. And the next pitch, little check swing foul, stays alive. Might have been a little safety swing on that one. May not have been the pitch he wanted to.
Absolutely. Caught himself going for something he didn't want and just got a piece of it.
And so the count remains 1-2. 1 out, bases loaded here, bottom 1. And the 1-2 coming in, swung on and missed. A strikeout for Schofield, an important one. Now up to 2 outs.
Yeah, Schofield reaching back on that one to get Hill swinging, and now with 2 away, Walsh is going to come off first. Of course, he's the pitcher, so Hill will go out to run with the 2-out rule in effect for both pitchers and catchers. What a confidence boost this would be for the Mastodons if they can get out of this inning.
Yeah, a whole lot of danger here. Like you mentioned, would be a huge boost for the team after a little bit of a shaky start to get the game going as that pitch swung on. Strike 1. Yeah, from a good chance at some momentum early on for the Hitmen. It might be the opposite direction if they aren't able to collect at least 1 run in this inning. Schofield gets his pitch. He's set on the mound. Calls time.
Second time he's done that this inning. He comes to the set and called time to reset. If I'm Schofield here and Patton, I'm sticking with speed. Move it around, but stick with speed.
And the next pitch swung on, missed, upstairs. Able to get the swing and miss from Kavanaugh.
Yeah, just too much can happen if you try to go to the off speed, a change up, a little reach out with the bat, and it would be looped into the field possibly. Make him chase that rise ball with heat.
All it can take sometimes is that one little cookie left in the zone on an off speed, and suddenly it could blow the game right open.
Great
that
pitch.
One upstairs. Patton not happy with the call. Didn't go his way. Could see him slam his glove on the ground. He steps back for a second. Saw him look up to this guy, clearly frustrated with that call. It's the count 1-2 after getting ahead to an early 0-2 count. 1-2 swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts to get out of a really dangerous situation. Great work from Schofield on the mound to get out of that.
A hit by pitch, and a walk. Bases loaded twice, and they get out of the jam. Amazing.
One of those situations that's always a little easier said than done to really get out of. Of course, it's every pitcher's dream to get out of a situation like that cleanly. Schofield able to do so. And again, you're watching the Softball Canada Men's Fast Pitch Championships here at Peter Hallman Ball-Yard. Thank you so much for tuning in for this Saturday evening here in Kitchener, Ontario.
While we have a moment, the day started off with the last preliminary game between the Bear Creek Express and the Holman Cubs, who ended up beating the undefeated Express 7-4. That vaulted the Cubs into a playoff position. and put the Bear Creek Express into a match with the Toronto Batmen in the first preliminary playoff game, with the Batmen winning 5-2. And still waiting on a final from that Bear Creek Souk Loggers game that was being played. So we'll update that for you as soon as possible.
Still a whole lot of action left this week, of course. The U23 portion of the tournament wrapped up yesterday, but a whole lot of men's, a whole lot of Masters games still left to go. Games still stretching into tomorrow as well, so thank you for tuning into this one. Make sure you still tune in for the rest of the tournament. We love having you here on CCDTV. That's Conestoga College Digital TV. So Walsh back on the mound. A pretty clear start to the first inning for him. He'll look to keep it going now that we pushed into the second. And so the right fielder, Kobe Kroll, will be making his way into the box for the first time today. Still a tie ball game. No damage done after the bases loaded situation just in the bottom half of the first. I'm sure the Mastodons would like to get themselves in a fairly similar situation. We'll see how this inning really turns out. So Kroll, Bouma, and Sears for sure in this inning as that one swung on. Grounded over towards the shortstop. The throw to first. Pretty routine for a quick first out.
Key there was quick release. The ball not hit too sharply. Bolin fielding it cleanly, but had to get this throw snapped off as quickly as possible. He did that.
It's almost hard not to find any of these batters without any sheer speed. Everyone quick on all these rosters. Can really be tough to make those throws sometimes, especially from short or third. So yeah, like you mentioned, good hands to get that out. As that one bunted over in the direction of third base, the pitcher picks it up, makes the throw towards first. Safe, able to get there in time. We just mentioned speed, and of course the next direct example, able to get on thanks to exactly that.
Yeah, great bunt there by Bouma, able to get it into almost no man's land. Pitcher, the only player that was able to get to it. And again, just too much speed down the base path. So that'll be an infield hit.
So Bouma bunting his way on. We'll see if he might turn that speed into a potential stolen base here as well. We've seen plenty of those this week. As Rowan Sears now in the box. Takes the first pitch. Ball one upstairs. So an early ground out to get the first out, but the next batter, a bunt single to get on. Sears, the shortstop, takes ball two. Walsh went from upstairs to downstairs, trying to see if Sears would swing at much of anything right now. Seen a very good amount of plate discipline already from both sides. 2-0 the count. The next pitch coming in, swung on and missed. Great pitch there. Good velocity from Walsh.
Interesting watching the corners for Galloway, first and third, taking a couple of steps to the inside part of the bags.
Of course, everyone loves those flashy plays. Sometimes a bunt single is really all you need in a good game. Next pitch, swung on, fouled back. That'll even the count at 2-2. So Walsh now up to 21 pitches, still fairly efficient in this early ball game. Sears set in the box. Walsh taking a second, has the pitch that he's looking for. He gets set and the delivery swung on. A grounder over towards the shortstop. The quick throw to second, over to first, not in time to get that one, but gets the lead runner over at second base. Will be a fielder's choice for Sears. So 2 outs here, still a man on first. That's Sears over there. That'll bring up the third baseman, Jake Hopewell. Now the outs that Walsh has gotten so far have been fairly quick, not getting to too high of pitch counts for them. And the first pitch of the at-bat swung on and missed. Looks like Hopewell might have been looking for a bit of the fastball, seemed to be a bit early on the swing. Denny on deck if Hopewell can get on here. Next pitch, a bit low there, trying to get the swing and miss on the next one. Evening the count at 1-1. Starting to hear some chants every so often from all the fans in attendance. Big shout out to all those family friends coming out to Kitchener, Ontario to watch their teams play. The 1-1. Swung on and missed. Walsh blowing that one right by him. A great pitch mix so far. Really giving some confidence to the defense behind him. The 1-2 count coming in. That one swung on and missed well in front of it for strike 3. It's the third strikeout now for Walsh. 2 very efficient innings so far for him.
Yeah, again, great pitch selection. Changing speeds up, having the batters guess. So just the one hit. And Walsh keeping the slate clean. No score as we head to the bottom of the second inning.
Well, we have a chance. We're going to thank a few sponsors that we have. Of course, this entire tournament would not be possible without them. Big shout-outs to Hallman Construction, Village Caterer. Of course, always giving a big special shout-out to Montana's Cookhouse. They've been feeding us for much of the week so far. Big shout-out to them. And McCarter Grespin Lawyers. So big shout-out to all of our sponsors. A big list to go through. We'll keep carrying on throughout the course of the game. And so we've shouted out a lot of people. Of course, a big shout out to you at home watching as well. Really appreciate you here. Really appreciate your support. I'm sure all these teams throughout the entire list of tournaments appreciate having you watch and supporting your teams. So Schofield will be back on the mound to kick off the bottom of the second. Things got a little dicey for him in the first. We'll see if he's able to clear things out a little bit for the second. Sometimes it just takes an inning or two, but was able to very cleanly get through a pretty dangerous situation with the bases loaded to really get things going right at the top of the game. Ryan Marr will kick things off, the right-handed batter. It's the third baseman. So now on great velocity to kick things off for strike 1. Schofield getting set for the next one. Is that one a bit too high up and away there? Some good movement there. The catcher, Patton, having to move over to make sure to keep it in front of him. Quite the differences in speeds from pitch 1 to pitch 2 there. Really trying to mix it up on these batters. And the next one, Marr takes it, but it's a strike up in the zone. I'll bring it to a pitcher-friendly 1-2 count. Schofield threw a lot of pitches in the first, now up to 31 pitches. As he kicks things off, the 1-2 swung on. Fouled well off over down the first base side. He'll stay alive with a 1-2 count.
That rise ball for Schofield's been working very well so far this game. Nobody's been able to catch up to it.
You'll usually see batters, 90% of the time, I find they work in two directions, either up and down more consistency or in and away consistently as well. It really comes down to the pitch mix. These rising pitches in particular really add a whole layer of complexity into this, really catering off then the fastball as well and some off-speed pitches too. A great weapon in a pitcher's arsenal. So the 1-2 comes in down there. They'll peel and they'll say that he went around on the swing. That'll be strike 3 called. The third strikeout for Schofield here. That's now 3 strikeouts in a row carrying over from the first.
Yeah, Galloway leaving the bases loaded a couple of times in that first inning, and Schofield coming out with 2 big strikeouts to get them out of the jam. But now he'll face a dangerous Sean Cleary as the DP.
And the first pitch to him. Just a bit down, out of the zone. Both teams looking to get some momentum in their direction here early on. Still a tie ball game between the Galway Hitmen, the East Hants Mastodons here. And the 1-0 pitch. That one just a bit too far upstairs. The catcher, Patton, really trying to frame that one. Schofield not too happy. He's taking an extra second, clearing off the mound a little bit as well.
That's the silent protest. Take a little extra time, fill the holes, make sure the ball is the way you want it.
Sometimes that really subtle message of a back to an umpire can really say a whole lot of words without really saying anything at all. So an early 2-0 count on Cleary. Next pitch downstairs again. That'll bring it to a 3-0 count early on. 1 out now, bottom 2. Mark Corbett, the right fielder, on deck. He's warming up.
I think Cleary's going to swing if he likes the pitch.
Next one well upstairs.
Definitely didn't like that one.
That one a little too far of away. Would have been quite the almost tomahawk trying to swing at that one. So 3 back-to-back strikeouts carrying over from first. And then a 4-pitch walk to Sean Cleary.
And they're actually going to bring in a pinch runner here. So they're going to put speed on the bases. Cleary's going to come out. Dwyer's going to pinch run. And all of this with 1 out in the bottom of the second. Interesting.
We'll see how things go. Clearly did pitch in the game just prior to this one. It might just be for a bit of extra rest for him right now. Still a potential of him coming in later. We'll see how this game goes. But yes, added speed really never hurts at all to have on bases, especially in a tie ball game. Mark Corbett really clearing off the box there. He's set, the left-handed batter. So man on first. First pitch in there for a strike. Both teams looking to break this tie any way they can. We'll see if the Hitmen try and do it with speed. And the first base runner immediately shot off the bag there.
Hit and run was on right there. It was punched foul, and they're going to say a leadoff.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, you do have to wait until the pitch is thrown to jump off the bag. Can still get a bit of an early run because of that, but if you jump off before the pitch is thrown, they can rule you out, and it appears that that's going to be what the case is for this one.
So there's a change in events. That erases the pinch runner. A leadoff as Dwyer heads back to the dugout.
A tough situation to be in, an 0-2 count. The runner taken off the bases. Still a tie ball game. Corbett in the box. And that one drilled on the ground over towards the second baseman. The routine throw over to first, and a fairly clear inning all said and done. The top of the order will come up in the next inning, but for now, Galway sat down.
Yeah, so alternative events in that inning. Galloway goes from just 1 out, a runner on first, to 2 out, and nobody on after that leadoff call. Something you don't see a lot of at this level.
That's the first time I've seen it personally in the games I've called this week. Doesn't get called too often, usually because you can run off as soon as the pitch is thrown. Usually people do wait for that because you can still get a good jump even with that. But a bad call. You got to give a lot of respect right now to the Mastodons. Early directions of momentum kind of shifting in these innings towards Galway, and they're able to really come back, get out of those situations. So even though it was just one runner on, they were still able to shut it down pretty quick. So that'll turn things back over. Galway back out in the field. Walsh on the mound. He's been fairly efficient so far. Only seen 4 batters throughout the 2 innings that he's pitched as we now push into the top of the 3rd.
Yeah, the number 9 hitter, Levi Denny, coming up to the plate for the Mastodons, and then it'll be the top of the order.
Denny, the second baseman. Left-handed batter in the box.
Galway at the corners, playing the bunt.
Clearly expecting it here early on, even before a show of bunt is shown. First pitch swung on, fouled. Right over to the fence on the first base side. Maybe about a foot from ending up in the dugout over there. Again, a beautiful day here. Earlier on, there were a whole lot of clouds in the sky, but some bright sunshine. We'll see if it comes into play, especially for the left fielder and the third baseman on some of these plays. Sometimes that can be a bit impactful, but late enough in the day, the sun's not hanging too high. So that next pitch swung on and missed. An early 0-2 count. I think the best thing for me on games like today is it's not too hot. It'd be a whole different tournament if this was 1 or 2 weeks ago when it was absolutely boiling.
You'd be okay. You have air conditioning in here.
That is correct. A lot luckier in here than a lot of the fans, the family out there who've really grueled it out throughout the entire summer watching these teams play. And so we'll turn things back over to the top of the order. Nick White back on. He struck out in the first inning. Now one inside. White having to back up off the plate a little bit there. So 4 strikeouts now for Colin Walsh through 2 1/3. And he gets set. The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. Absolutely flew that one by him. Walsh very efficient, just up to 31 pitches now. The count even 1-1. That pitch coming in. Showing bunt on the next one. Called strike. Still showing bunt through the zone there. Hill, the first baseman, really drove up on that play. The infield moving in a touch. The third baseman, that's Marr, well up now. So the 1-2 count coming in from Walsh. And that one just a bit outside. The catcher, that's Pittman, really tried to frame that one up. He'll step off to the side for a second there. Pittman now going back. Yeah, just a quick word for the umpire, asking quickly whereabouts that was in the zone, how far out it was. The count even now, 2-2. That one swung on and missed. Another strikeout. That's back-to-back now, 3 in a row between the second and third for Walsh. So 5 innings now through 2 2/3. Cam Patton up, he's the catcher. 1 for 1 so far, a single back in the first hit for the Mastodons. He's set, swing and a miss on a ball lower in the zone. A very great pitcher's duel right now between these two. Still a tie ball game, no runs scored. It's the 0-1 pitch. Came in, just fouled back. Or upstairs, I believe just off the glove of the catcher, actually.
Yeah, went off the tip of Pittman's glove.
So that evens it right now, 1-1. 2 quick outs here to kick off the top of the third. Walsh shook off a couple pitches. Now he's set with what he wants. The 1-1. Swung on, little dribbler there. Well, right in the dirt. Might have hit him there. Rolls back in. So that'll bring it to a 1-2 count. So very tight ball game. This one moving fairly quickly so far. 2 outs, top of 3. Walsh set and the delivery well upstairs. See him almost take a little jaunt off the mound there.
Yeah, the landing foot clipped the hole. That area gets dug up really, really well, and I've seen that earlier in the tournament where if you just miss on either side leads to a little bit of a twist of the ankle.
So the 2-2. Now 1 down inside. That'll bring it to a full count. Off that point, I don't know if anyone at home regularly watches pitchers across the board, but it's really a work of art when you see them pitch. They will almost hit the exact same target on the ground with that front foot nearly every single time. So if it's even a little bit off, sometimes that can be a huge difference maker for these pitchers.
Absolutely.
So Nevin on deck warming up right now. The payoff pitch foul back. The count will remain 3-2. A great battle between these two right now with 2 out.
Yeah, Patton making Walsh work, and the deeper this at-bat goes, better chance for Patton to get a pitch that he can drive.
It's a great case in either way right now. It's exactly what you kind of got to do. Drive up the pitch count as we keep going on through this game, especially with Walsh being as efficient as he's been so far. And the payoff pitch in there, swung on, popped up. It looks like the shortstop's going to make an easy play underneath it. And things are quiet. 3 up, 3 down for the Mastodons as we move now to the bottom of the third. Again, like I mentioned, a pretty quick ball game, all said and done so far.
So the Mastodons have slipped through some challenges here in the first 2 innings, and now it's going to be for the Galway Hitman lineup the second time they've seen Schofield, as it'll be the 1-2-3 hitters for Galway coming up to the plate.
In a lot of games, this can often be the turning point. After you've gotten one little preview of the pitcher, sometimes that second go-around really improves. It just gets better and better as the game goes on, really starting to figure out, not just from yourself, but the info passed between all the teammates after they've had their runs with the pitcher as well, to start figuring things out, figuring out his pitch repertoire a little bit more, how he's kind of attacking the zone in different ways as well, his approach at the plate. So we'll see how things go. Guaranteed to see Shane Boland, Jordan Pomeroy, and Brad Ezekiel in this one. Of course, they'd like to bring a whole lot more up to the plate. Again, if you're just joining us, a big game, a big pivotal game. The loser ends up going home, so a lot on the line in this one.
Leading off the bottom of the third,
So Boland will be up to the plate. He's singled back in the first. Was out running home on a fielder's choice later in the inning. That was the inning where the hitmen loaded the bases. We're not able to collect anything. Still a tie ball game at no runs. That one fouled well back over the fence, over the fans as well. One of those times where it feels a little less than correct to say that it's out of the ballpark, but to each his own.
Back in the first inning, we saw the Galloway hitters be a little more patient. Wait to Schofield, threw them a strike. I think now you're going to see the hitmen be a little more aggressive at the plate.
That one swung on, drilled right back. Yeah, you're exactly right. We saw a little bit of patience from the box in the first one. Pomeroy hit by pitch. So he was sent over the first. Then the next batter made his way over too. We've seen a lot of good counts right now. Schofield now up to 41 pitches. Gotten a bit more efficient as the game's continued after that pretty rough start to the first. Still no damage done, though. So no 2 count on Boland. That one swung on over to the third baseman, not able to come up with it cleanly. It drifts past the foul line. And Boland safe over at first as Hopewell not able to come up with it cleanly.
That was a hard shot right at the third baseman. He was able to get down on one knee to try to block it, but went off of his glove into foul territory. And Boland safely at first base. I'm going to have to defer to the scorekeeper here on what it's going to be counted as.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated once that call comes in. Hit pretty hard, though. I still wouldn't be shocked if it was ruled as a hit. I do believe it was ruled as an error. I'm seeing an error popping up on my screen now. So yes, Hopewell has been charged with an error, the third baseman on that one.
Yeah, and that's a tough one. It was hit really, really hard, but I think the fact of the matter that he was square to the ball, they felt that he should have came up with it.
So Jordan Pomeroy now in the box, the left-handed batter. So that one touches the bottom of the zone for a strike. Evening the count at 1-1. So in any case, Boland over at first. Pomeroy, like we mentioned, was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. Got the free walk over to first base. And the 1-1. That one a bit inside. Pomeroy having to back up a little bit. Not wanting to get hit 2 times in a row. Luckily for those just joining us, it didn't look like he was hit hard in the first. Just slightly grazed him, but that's often enough in this one to get a free bag. And that one swung on right in between the first and second baseman. It goes over towards right field. Boland held over at second. A great relay over from Kroll over in right field to get it in as quick as possible. But now one in scoring position, 2 men on here. And Galway threatening once again.
Great play by the right fielder, Colby Kroll, to charge that ball hard and keep Boland at second base. A lot of the times you see on singles, the runner will go first to third, but the way Kroll charged that ball and made a good throw to second base, able to hold the runner.
Boland really made that turnover at second, too. A smart call to go back. I don't know if he would have been safe if he tried to make the trek over to third.
Well, especially with nobody out. And you've got the heart of the order coming up.
Tie ball game, none outs. Yeah, really don't want to risk too much in a tight ball game like this. First pitch to Ezekiel, down out of the zone. Ezekiel also got on via the walk in his first at-bat. So technically a 0 for 0 in the stat sheet. I love his almost more old school stance in the box. One of my favorites that I've seen in this tournament. So that's Boland over at second, Pomeroy over at first. Ezekiel now in the box. Beautiful day. Doesn't appear to be too much wind right now. Should be a pretty straight up game weather-wise out there. And the pitch from Schofield. That one just clips the bottom of the zone. Called strike there. That'll bring it to a 2-1 count. Could be one of the more pivotal parts of the ball game that we've seen so far. Runner in scoring position. As that one clips the inner part of the plate. Ezekiel jumped back a little bit on the box, but still a called strike. Evening the count at 2-2. Schofield looking to get out of it once again. Still no outs in the inning as well. Very similar situation to what happened in the first. And the 2-2 pitch swung on, drilled over to the third base side. Gets by him over into left field. At least one run's going to score. Another one coming in, and that's a 2 RBI double off the bat of Brad Ezekiel.
Yeah, he put the ball where nobody was going to snag that, right down the third baseline hard, and it was able to curve away from the left fielder, and that allowed both runs to score and give Galway the 2-0 lead here in the third.
So the tie game finally broken here, bottom of the third. A tight contest so far. But Galway now able to strike first.
And we're going to get a pitching change here for the Mastodons, which shows you how tight this game is being played. Schofield will head to the bench. And trying to get the number here as the new Mastodons pitcher will be number 44, Zach Pierce, and he'll be allowed some warm-ups.
So yeah, often that's where the playoffs really start to differ from that round-robin style. Usually in the round-robin, because sometimes you have multiple games, usually 2 games in a day that we've seen throughout the week. Oftentimes, especially in still a relatively tight ball game, a 2-0 game right now, they'll still leave the pitcher in for at least a little bit just to try and rest some of their other arms for the other games throughout the day. But once you hit the playoffs, especially in these elimination-style games, it's more important than ever to not let this game get too far out of hand, and sometimes just changing the pitcher, changing the styles, the release coming towards the batter can be a big difference.
Well, and the other thing, too, is a couple of hard-hit balls to start off the bottom of the third, and sometimes it's how the batters are keying on, especially pulling the ball hard down the line is an indication to the coach that the hitters are getting comfortable with what they're seeing. So they'll change it up with Pierce here, but he's got a tough assignment with Colin Walsh coming to the plate.
Walsh takes a big hack at the first one. That'll be strike one. He's 0 for 1 in this one, a fielder's choice back in the first inning. Starting to see the lights coming on as the day starts to drag on a little later. Bottom third, the 0-1 count. Downstairs, just out of the zone, evening things up at 1-1. So things turn the direction of the hitman right now. First run scored off a big 2 RBI double. That one swung on, drilled, well, hit hard, but foul down the left field side. Turned on that one, was just a little bit early on the swing, though. So 1-2 the count coming into Walsh. That one swung on and missed. Pierce kicks things off with a strikeout. So we'll give you the final line for Schofield. He did end up going through 2 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, though, off that error by the third baseman. 3 strikeouts, 2 walks given, and he's out of this ball game. Pierce getting things going in the right direction. Strikeout against the first man he faces. Still a runner in scoring position. That's Ezekiel out there. Jason Hill in the box. He drills that one hard but foul. A strikeout victim back in the first inning, and that was Schofield's first strikeout. The first baseman would love to turn things on, extend this lead even further. As the pitch is set, it's thrown, catches the bottom part of the plate. Looks like Hill wasn't too pleased with that. So 1 man on, 1 in scoring position, 1-1 the count, and 1 out. Next pitch comes in. Foul tip, but caught by the catcher. And that'll sit him down here.
2-0 lead is nice. A 3-0 lead better. You've got a runner at second base and a couple of chances to move him across.
First pitch into Kavanaugh.
But 2 strikeouts, and now Kavanaugh looking at doing the job here.
Like you mentioned, every single run in a do-or-die game is incredibly important. Next pitch comes in. Just a bit outside there, leaving the count at 1-1. So Pierce, very effective so far, just 8 pitches thrown, 2 strikeouts so far since he came in. Next pitch comes in. That one just a bit too high out of the zone. The catcher, Patton, really tried to frame that one up for a second there. So Ezekiel at second. He drove in the 2 runs. Kavanaugh up in the plate. Check swing foul back. That'll bring the count even at 2-2.
Yeah, that's a win for the pitcher. Kavanaugh a little undecided at what he wanted to do, so they have him guessing.
And the 2-2, that one down and away. Yeah, sometimes that can be even the big benefit of bringing in a new pitcher. A whole lot of new pitches. Sometimes they won't know which to sit on, whether it be an off-speed, a fastball. Still uncertain as they're just getting used to the repertoire of this new pitcher. As that one swung on, drilled past the glove of the shortstop. It drifts into left field. The runner from second coming home. He's going to be safe. And Kavanaugh drives in a run off a nice RBI double.
Great piece of hitting by Kavanaugh there. Stayed with the pitch, able to stroke it in left field. A little confused by the throw. It was way up the first baseline, nowhere near the plate, and it wouldn't have been close. Ezekiel was in there for sure, but because of that throw, that allows Kavanaugh to go to second base and get himself in scoring position.
Realistically, if you tried to get that out at second, like you mentioned, would have been a bit more likely. First pitch into Marr, swung on and a strike there. If you try for that one at second, you could have gotten out of the inning, still given up the run, but at least then you could turn things back over. Instead, there's still a runner in scoring position. Like you mentioned, I think that run was realistically going to be scoring either way. It would have been tough at the plate. So that one really reached for that one. Quick 0-2 count. So Marr 0 for 1. He struck out back in the second. Now a bit of an extended third inning. And the next one fouled back. Catcher lost it for a second, but I'm pretty sure it ricocheted off him or his glove. So I believe that run will still be charged over to Schofield. Ezekiel got on base while Schofield was still the pitcher. So Pierce gets set for the 0-2 count. That one down in the dirt, ball 1. Pickoff throw over at second to try and get him. He's safe, gets back to the bag in time.
Yeah, Kavanaugh just a little slow getting back to second, and a good snap from the catcher to wake him up.
Yeah, you said the term wake him up. I was about to say he almost got caught sleeping out there, right on the same wavelength for that. So Kavanaugh still out at second. That one gets away from the catcher. Strike 3 still called, though. And so that's 3 strikeouts for Pierce, but a whole lot of damage done before then. And as the Hitmen break this one open, 3-0 the lead so far as we turn things back over into the top of the 4th.
Mastodons have some work to do. They have the heart of the order coming up in the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, and scheduled to face Walsh as he comes out for another inning of work. He's only allowed 3 base runners so far.
Done it in very efficient fashion. Quite a lot of strikes in the zone so far to these batters. Walsh so far 41 pitches, 28 of those strikes. He'll hope to keep it going. Would love to keep the Hitmen with a 3-0 lead as long as possible. But of course, both these teams this far into the playoffs really for a reason. Some great clubs here in the tournament. We've seen some bounce backs throughout the entire course of the week so far. A 3-0 lead can still be turned around in a pretty quick inning, depending. So once again, if you're just joining us, you're checking out the Softball Canada Men's Fast Pitch Championships here at Peter Hallman Ball Yard, presented by Kitchener Fastball Promotions. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate having you here. This has all been brought to you thanks to the helping hands over at CCDTV. That's Conestoga College Digital TV. Justin Kohler up here, joined by Steve Sabrin. First one. Little single there, dribble out towards right field, past the glove of the second baseman. Travis Nevin gets things going in a pretty great way.
Little snap play there by the Galway Hitmen. They threw it back to first base because the runner was actually touching the orange bag, not the white bag. And they try to reach back and tag him, but he was able to get into position. The runner was able to get on the proper bag after the play. Always have to be awake.
The umpires definitely refreshed on that ruling.
The Mastodons getting what they needed here in the top of the 4th, a leadoff single. Now they have to do something with it.
You know, you're talking about the orange and white part of the first base bag. I know that's been an issue so far in this tournament. There have been some words between teams at least once this week on that exact ruling. Is that pitch a ball downstairs? Nevin was really back and forth. You could see him almost sidestepping in his place there right after the swing, to see if the catcher was going to come up with it cleanly. So the left fielder, Brody Fraser, in there now. Or excuse me, the DP for this one, Brody Fraser. He's number 7 here. And the 1-0 pitch. Coming in, swung on, fouled right back.
Mastodon hitters starting to get their timing here against Walsh.
Again, second time through the order now. Walsh been fairly clean. Not a whole lot of danger for those first few innings. But now we're well into the middle innings of the game here in the top of the 4th. The 1-1 pitch. Bit too far downstairs. Walsh asking a couple questions there, just seeing exactly where it was. He resets back on the mound. Still a 3-0 lead here. He gets set, delivers. Swung on, driven over towards left center field. The left fielder, a nice sliding grab there. That would have well advanced the run over to second, possibly third. Great athleticism from Pomeroy there.
Yeah, that line shot was right in the sun, and one of the reasons why Pomeroy slid was he had to pick up the ball, and he tracked it well considering where the sun is right now, glaring right to the third base side and into left field.
We knew it might come into play. Of course, looking impressive. One of those plays where I would usually play center field, and that's a play I know I would not be making out there. First pitch swung on, a big hack. It's from Kobe Kroll now in the plate. The right fielder. So Nevin still over on first. He got on via the single to kick off the inning. 1 out here, top of 4. And the 0-1 pitch swung on, fouled back. That'll turn it to a quick 0-2 count. Walsh getting ahead early on this one. Kroll set in the box. Walsh found the pitch that he's looking for. He gets set and sends it swing and a miss. Big strikeout there. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Sits Kroll down in quick fashion for 2 outs here. Now in the top of the 4th. That was Walsh's 6th strikeout now. So that'll bring Callum Bouma into the box, the left-handed batter. That one catches the part of the zone. Bouma looking back, exactly asking where that was. Bouma with a bunt single back in the 2nd. And the next pitch looked like a pretty good pitch there, but must have just been a bit outside on the outer part of the plate. You could see Pittman, the catcher, looking back, surprised the call didn't go his way. Walsh, the pitcher, backing up off the mound, taking a second for himself there.
Yeah, he took the long way around to get back to the inside the pitcher circle.
Count now even, 1-1. Walsh sets and delivers. That one, swing and a miss. Nevin still taking a few strides every time, seeing exactly what's going to happen on the play. Almost seems like he's more waiting for the catcher to misplay something, for something to shoot back. Doesn't look like he's going to try and steal. Count now 1-2 with 2 out, top of 4. That one just a bit outside as well, evening the count at 2-2. It's Walsh's 53rd pitch of the game. So 1 man on, Nevin still over on the first base bag. And the 1-2 downstairs. Could see Nevin think about it there for a second. He paused, but still scuffles back over to first. So now the full count. Payoff pitch coming in. Swung on, drilled over towards, finding the gap over in right field, touches the grass. Nevin able to go all the way to third on that one. A nice solid single off Callan Buma.
Just taking what was given to him, didn't do too much with it. Little flare into right field. That's all you need to keep the inning going.
A great battle there, forcing the full count situation. Gonna have a meeting on the mound now. The tying run now up to the plate. One runner in scoring position. That's Nevin over at third.
Yeah, they're discussing what they're going to do with the runner at first. You have two away, concentrate on the batter. Good speed at first base in Buma, so we could see him take off here.
We've seen that situation already where specifically saying which way you want to throw, trying to get the out at second or try to make that play at home can be very pivotal. And the first pitch, that one a bit outside there. Doesn't get the call to go their way.
Yeah, Buma's itching to go. They're going to play it kind of a cautious send. You see him looking at the plate where the pitch ended up, and it was a good throwing position for Pittman, so Buma held up.
So that's Rowan Sears up to the plate now. The shortstop. As the 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. Now, this is one of those kind of rare plays where usually I love sending the runner. I love stealing bases. But the amount of pressure that having runners on the corners right now is kind of putting into the heads of this defense might pay off arguably a little bit more than having two in scoring position. Next one comes in, catches the inner part of the plate. Sears now asking where that was. He jumped off a bit backwards out of the box. He was a bit surprised by the call.
Yeah, I think with two strikes, you send Buma here.
So Nevin at third, Buma on first. Sears up in the box, a 1-2 count coming in. Now one a bit too far downstairs. Evening the count at 2-2. So the Hitmen still leading in this one, 3-0 the score right now, top of 4. If you're just joining us, thank you for tuning in here on CCDTV, Conestoga College Digital TV. The 2-2 pitch coming in, and that one called strike 3. Sears does not like the call, hands on hips. That's 2 pitches that didn't go his way. He thought they were well inside, doesn't get the call. A big strikeout there.
So the Mastodons get the leadoff runner to third base, but that's as far as he goes. And Galloway now having an opportunity to increase their lead.
So a beautiful night for baseball here in Kitchener, Ontario. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for joining us for the first day of this Labor Day long weekend as well. We'll have plenty of action throughout. Still games left today, a whole lot tomorrow, some pivotal games moving towards Sunday. But we're happy you're here with us for this game at the very least. Of course, this being a national championships, teams from all across Canada in attendance throughout the entire tournament. So with that, we know a lot of you at home are from across Canada too. If you're watching us live on CCDTV, we'd love to know exactly where you're checking us out from. So the bottom of the fourth gets started. That's Cleary. He's in the box right now. He got on via the walk in the second. Next one swung on, fouled right back.
Yeah, it was an interesting strategy back in the second inning. Cleary got on via the walk, but then they pinch run for him, bringing in Dwyer, who then got called for a leadoff and was scratched as the second out of the inning. So if Cleary gets on here, it'll be interesting to see if they use someone else to pinch run for him or if they're just going to keep him in.
It's It's a tough situation to really get put in, especially in a pivotal game like this. Those are mistakes you really cannot be making this late in the tournament. So the 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3, a strikeout here. That's the 4th for Sears. He's been up for an inning and a third now, or at least gotten 3 outs in the last inning. Now 1 out now. That's 4 consecutive strikeouts for him. So that'll bring Corbett back up to the plate, the right fielder. Grounded out back in the second. Next pitch, come on, swung on over towards the first base bag. He'll run it back himself. A quick 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. So that'll turn things back over to the top of the order. Shane Bolin back up once again. He's 1 for 2 in this one. That one grounded over towards the third base bag. In time to throw to first. A very, very quick, efficient 3 outs here in the 4th inning.
What did Pierce throw? 6 pitches?
I think that must have been it. Really couldn't have been much at all. Quite the shutdown inning. If you're the Mastodons, that's exactly what you wanted to have happen. Shut down at any momentum you can, especially with Hitman now up 3-0. Do anything you can to try and claw, scratch your way back, and even just a quick 1-2-3 inning can try and turn the tides a little bit. So while we have a chance, we will go through, thank a few more of our sponsors. Again, none of this would be possible without their help throughout the entire course of the week. A big shout out to Iron Horse Financial Solutions, MTE Consultants, Expressway Ford New Hamburg, and of course always a big shout out to Conestoga College as well. They're heading up the broadcast. This wouldn't be possible, helping Steve and I look I guess, and sound really, really sharp on the broadcast. Big thanks to them. Easier said than done some days to make me sound nice and pretty on air, so I'll always appreciate it.
So it looks like the Mastodons are going to go to the bench here and grab a pinch hitter. And it's going to be number 10, Patrick Stewart, coming in to hit for Jake Hopewell.
So Stewart, the right-handed batter. Walsh on the mound once again. That one clips the outer part of the zone for strike 1.
Yeah, Hopewell with the strikeout back in the second inning. He only had 1 plate appearance, but you're running out of time if you're the Mastodons, already into the top of the 5th.
All things said and done, been a very quick game so far. Only getting close to about an hour and a half now. So the count now 0-2. Stewart set in the box. Pitch coming in just a bit inside. So the count 1-2. Walsh set on the mound. Next pitch coming in. Swung on over towards right field, over the head of the second baseman. It touches the grass in right, and he'll get things going with a single here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, went with that pitch, just stuck the bat head out and shot it into right field for the leadoff single. And we may see Stewart go back to the bench here. Yeah, they're going to re-enter Hopewell, it looks like, to run.
Stewart came in, was clearly given one job and got it done in this one.
Actually, that's going to be Nathan Peters, number 57 at first base as the pinch runner. So the Mastodons dipping deep into the bench to put the right pieces of the puzzle together to try to score a run.
So Levi Denny squares up to bunt. It
Great
finds
bunt.
the gap. No one able to get there to it. It drifts almost all the way to the grass. No one able to make the play there. A few people came in, went right between all of them.
So on that play there, it was far enough that the pitcher couldn't get it. Because the first baseman, Hill, was coming into play, the second baseman had to come over to cover first, and it went right through that hole. The unfortunate part for the Mastodons was Peters was sliding into second face first. Had he been upright, he possibly could have made it to third, but he had to hold up. So still no out with runners at first and second for the Mastodons.
It's not very often you anticipate trying to take extra bases on a bunt. So, of course, naturally, you'd want to be sliding into second, try to avoid any potential out there. Better safe than sorry, I guess, at the very least.
So Galloway has Cleary warming up down the left field line. Of course, yeah, they're going to go to Cleary. He's going to come in here to try to shut things down. Just a 3-0 lead for Galloway, and they don't want to take any chances.
Yeah, the tying run will be coming up to the plate in this one. It does explain why Kiri was ran for earlier in the game as well, just to give him an extra baking in case they needed to bring him in late in the game. Seems like that's exactly going to happen here with 2 men on.
So while they figure out the lineup, the situation, the Mastodons go back to the top of the order. So they have their leadoff hitter in Nick White stepping up to the plate, and there's nobody out with runners on first and second.
The bottom of the order really doing the job here, able to get on base in both those cases. So a soft single to find the grass, a bunt single, almost also able to find the grass. A quick 2 on, 1 in scoring position, none out in the top of the 5th. Some claps coming in for Walsh.
And they're going to do a double switch here because they're going to change catchers. And it's going to be
It'll be O'Leary, I believe.
O'Leary, number 13, coming out to catch Cleary, which isn't unheard of because at sometimes at this level, a pitcher will have his personal preference of a catcher, and O'Leary's the guy to catch Cleary. So
it's the exact combo we saw just in the last game that we saw Galway in. Of course, hard not to make a comment about Cleary and O'Leary.
Yeah, so Blake Pittman, who was the catcher, was just in for defensive purposes. He did not hit. So we'll see how Galway sets up its order, but they've done all their changes. The rest of the defense, we're going to get a change here. Walsh is going to go to first in place of Hill. Looks
So,
like everybody else stays the same.
So, of course, going to be granted a few warm-up pitches right now as well. The substitution coming in partway through the top of the 5th. So again, we got to give a big shout out to the grounds crew. That's what the city of Kitchener been incredibly helpful throughout the entire course of this week. Been very efficient in turning these games around day to day. But of course, whole lot of elbow grease put into place throughout those 2 big rain delays we had on Tuesday and I believe on Thursday. No, Tuesday and Thursday, yes. one of which over 4 hours, the other one over 5 hours long. At one point, this infield was almost looking more like a lake at one point. It was pretty bad. So, of course, big shout-outs to them. This wouldn't be possible without their help.
So Nick White up to the plate. 0 for 2 on the day with a couple of Ks.
The Mastodons still threatening here. 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position. White, the top of the order, the lefty getting set. Next pitch swung on, but drilled foul. First baseman comes over. You can see he really wanted to put a lot of power into that swing. Do everything he can to try and bridge the gap here. The Hitmen still leading 3-0. So Cleary now getting set in the box. He calls time. They'll go and talk things over, of course. A very dangerous spot. Every run important. At times, can't really afford to even give up one to change momentum back in the direction of the other team. That can be just as dangerous.
Cleary, one of the more methodical pitchers at this level, takes his time, making sure everything is to his liking.
You put that exactly right. In the last game, we saw him go through batters pretty quick in the first. In the second, he slowed things right down, taking his plenty of time between pitches. As he gets set, the 0-1 count coming in, catches the plate. O'Leary framed that one up nicely. So quick 0-2 count, still no men out. The sun really starting to set those lights, going to get more and more pivotal moving forward.
Yeah, the entire field looks like now in shadow, so.
Great news for the left fielders in this one. So the 0-2 count coming in, swung on, foul back. White stays alive.
Yeah, good job to get a piece of that rise ball, keep the at-bat going. Still 0-2.
Can often be tough, especially on those rise balls, really to get solid contact on them. If you do, just because of how it's coming in, it's very hard sometimes not to just fly out with that upward trajectory on it. It's really easy to get underneath it at times. Of course, if you do barrel it up, those ones up in the zone can really be drilled right out of here. But more often than not, depending on how things go, could just result in the fly out. So good to battle that one back. The count remains 0-2. No one out here, top of 5. The Hitmen leading 3-0. Next one just down outside the zone. And still 2 men on right now. That's Hopewell. He was subbed out for the hit, came back in as the runner. He's at second. Denny got on with that bunt single. He's over at first. White still battling in here. Cleary really taking his time figuring out what pitch he wants. Now he's set. Ready on the mound. The 1-2. That one well downstairs out of the zone. Evening things up at 2-2. The first baseman, Hill, going over to have a couple words with him. Or excuse me, Walsh. Things moved around. It's the count even 2-2. And gets set, delivers. That one a check swing foul almost, but drilled right down the line. Plenty of power off that one for a check swing, helped by the velocity coming in from Cleary.
Yeah, if you're Cleary, you want to make sure you take care of business here because then they'll be facing the next two batters, both of who have had hits this game.
A very tough spot here. Very likely this could be the defining inning for the Mastodons. If they're able to collect, could swing momentum in their favor moving forward. If they strand these base runners, don't get anyone in, it could really turn the tide here. The count's still 2-2. That one comes in, swung on, drilled deep towards right field. The right fielder getting underneath it, right through the fence, literally breaks through it. Runners advancing. Man on second running all the way home. He'll score. But they might be halting the play here because the right fielder went through the fence. We'll see what the official call is here. They might pull them back. We'll see what it is. I believe it's because he went right through the fence. They might rule it in a similar situation to maybe a ground rule double. Looks like they're just giving them a single base here.
You can only advance one base, so it's the catch and the tag, and then because he went through the fence, you're only allowed to advance that one base.
Of course, all this temporary fencing out there, so not the most stable things in the world.
Correct. So the Mastodons want an explanation. They're going to get it. Now, the thing about that is they just don't make up the rule during the game. Everything is laid out ground rules, so everybody knows what it is. For the Mastodons, they did the right thing. You play the game, and the umpires will fix it later. But they're still going to discuss the situation.
Like you exactly mentioned, this is not exactly a new sport by any means. So yes, all these rules very defined, quite a lot to go over in these cases. Oftentimes just a tough situation. Any other case, if that was just a regular flyout, if he didn't go through the fence, yes, that would have been a run on there, but falling through does cost time. It does bring into the question of, oh, if he didn't fall through the fence, would he have gotten it in a bit faster? Would they have still been able to try and advance, take two bases on that one instead of just the one? But that's what those rules are exactly there for, to eliminate those what-if situations.
So really that play lands into Galloway's favor because it forces the runner to stay at third, so the Mastodons still have to drive the runners in scoring position home. That's going to be left up to Cam Patton.
So still plenty of power there, just inches away from being over the glove and a potential home run, but it still does advance the runners. Time called here. Patton now in the box. The catcher in this one, right-handed batter. Now two runners in scoring position, just one out here, top of five. Tying run at the plate. And Cleary gets set, he's in position. First pitch comes in, swung on, drilled over towards right field. It touches the grass, right field not able to get to it in time. He makes the throw over towards third. It's away from the third baseman, nowhere close. It hits the sidewall, and that'll be two runs coming in off a big 2 RBI double.
Well, I think they're going to score that as single, and he advances on the throw. Again, we see another throw, not to anywhere in particular. That was way off the third base bag, and that allows the second runner to come in and score. Heads up base running by Levi Denny to read that play.
Likely an error coming in at some point here. We'll give you that update on the scoring side in just a second. So still a runner in scoring position. Now the go-ahead run at the plate.
How momentum can change. First two runners get on base. They knock out Walsh. They bring in Cleary to try to slow things down, and it ends up both runs come in to score.
So Nevin back in the box, the left-handed bat. And so, yes, an error charged on the right fielder. That's Corbett officially. But still a big momentum shift. Now just a one-run ball game. 1 out here. Top of 5. The Mastodons starting to gain some steam. Next pitch comes on off speed. Trying to clip the top of the zone. Doesn't go his way. Evens things up at 1-1 with 1 out. So Patton over there at second. Nevin in the box, the left-handed batter. Cleary now up to 11 pitches. Next one, coming in, swung on. Fouled in the dirt, back to the catcher.
Yeah, another key part to the storyline headed into this inning. In the bottom of the 4th, Galloway went quickly 3 up, 3 down. And the Mastodons able to get back to the plate and get back to work swinging.
You mentioned it throughout the game, these two incredible teams, very competitive teams, clearly in this spot in the playoffs for a reason. We knew the Tides could really start turning at any point. The Mastodons really starting to turn things on late in the game. So the 1-2 count, swung on, fouled right back. A lot of lift on that one.
Yeah, Nevin not fooled. That was a hard hack and just got a piece of it.
Cleary, once again, taking his time to get set on the mound. Again, you kind of mentioned it a bit earlier. Sometimes that can be a little bit of a deception tactic from these pitchers. As he gets set, he's ready. The 1-2 pitch coming in. Swung on and missed. The big strikeout here, the second out of the inning. Still 1 runner over in scoring position. Looks like we might have a runner coming in here.
Oh, it's the 2-out catcher rule. Nevin will take the spot of the catcher, Patton, at second.
So Cleary's first strikeout. Brody Fraser in the box. The DP in this one, the left-handed batter. Nevin now over at second base. And that one, first pitch upstairs. A great game so far. Again, a big do-or-die game as well. The winning team will move on. Losing team goes home. It's a very pivotal, high-pressure game in this one. The 1-0 pitch, swung on, drilled over towards left field. It's back, it's at the wall. The left fielder having to run in to get over towards it. He makes the throw into the shortstop. And a big, loud RBI double off the bat of Brody Fraser.
That's why you're in the number 4 spot. The DP Frazier able to get a hold of one, punch it to left field, drives in the tying run to this game, and the pressure cooker building. Looks like the Mastodons are going to make another change here. Again, going to the bench, it's worked for them so far.
All these strategies really coming out in this one, using all the tools at their disposal. That last one, an absolute screamer. I don't know if anyone at home has been to the ballpark and seen where our box is, but that one drilled over towards left. Of course, we pressing ourselves up against the window to even try and see where that went.
So Mike Wood, number 6, comes in as a pinch runner for Frazier. And it'll be Kobe Kroll up at the plate for the Mastodons.
First pitch down in the dirt, gets by the catcher. That's going to allow this man on second to advance over to third. Wood over there standing.
So quick an update here. The Sook Loggers hold on to beat the Bear Creek Express 11-10. So the Express out of the playoff round. The Loggers will face the winner of the Hitman Mastodons.
Next pitch swung on, popped up. Second baseman moving back, makes the catch, and they get out of it. But the damage done. A tie ball game now, 3-3. The Mastodons battle their way back. As we push now into the bottom of the fifth. Did you say 11-10 on that one between those two teams as well?
Yep, the Sook Loggers from BC beating the Bear Creek Express 11-10. The Express are out. The Loggers will face the winner of the Mastodons and Hitman. That game will be played tomorrow morning at 10. The next game after this, the last one of the evening, will be the Toronto Batmen and Saskatoon Jacks. The winner will advance straight to the final. The loser will have to play against the winner of the 10 a.m. game. So either the Loggers, the Mastodons, or Hitman have to win 3 in a row in order to get a championship.
So lots at stake. Clearly still a whole lot of action in store. Make sure you're tuning in throughout the rest of the day and into tomorrow as well. Some pivotal matches coming up.
Here we go.
And so that'll turn things back over once again. Pomeroy, the left fielder, in the box. First pitch swung on and missed. Down and away. Good movement on that pitch to get the swinging strike. Pierce back on the mound once again. That one upstairs. Pierce now up to 26 pitches since he came in. That one swung on, drilled but grounded foul. A bit early on the swing.
Yeah, Pierce came in the third inning and has struck out 5 of the 7 batters he's faced. A couple of ground outs mixed in as well.
So done very clean work so far. Pomeroy still in the box. The 2-1 pitch coming in. Swung on, drilled, but right into the glove of the second baseman. A quick throw to first. And that's one out here in the bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, Denny ranging towards the first base side, stayed with it as didn't have much of a hop, and he was able to make the play for the first out of the inning. Now there's a little bit of a shift on the infield here. We see Denny move back to the outfield cutoff and more towards second base, so expecting Ezekiel to pull in this situation.
Most teams playing fairly straight up throughout this tournament. We don't see too much of shifting in this one.
And judging by Pierce's pitching pattern, a lot of stuff inside early on in the bat.
Which make a lot of sense. If he's able to square anything up, more than likely in that case, especially right-handed batter, to very much pull that towards left field. So the defensive alignment really making sense.
Yeah, he had the big double last in the third inning, which knocked out Schofield.
So the 1-2 pitch upstairs out of the zone. That'll even things up at 2-2. So 1 out here, tie ball game, 3 runs apiece. Next pitch. Ball 4 there. He'll just take the little trek over to first. Ezekiel's second walk of the game. He walked back in the first. Had a big 2 RBI double in the third. Over in Colin Walsh. Cleanup hitter in this one. That one drilled over towards center field. The center fielder not having to move too much for it. Almost hit right over towards him. Ezekiel having to scamper back over towards first. And 2 outs now, bottom 5, 1 man still on base. And starting to see some beautiful orange skies off in the distance as the sun really begins to fade on this Saturday evening. We'll see how cold things end up getting as the sun goes down as well. Might be going from a lot of t-shirts to sweaters and jackets for all the friends and family in attendance for this one. The 0-1 pitch upstairs. Even things at 1-1 with 2 out. Again, that's Ezekiel over on first. Got on via the walk. The 1-1 pitch swung on. It's grounded over towards the second baseman. Will make the routine throw over to first and get that third out. No damage done, bottom 5. We move over, top of 6.
Denny again with a good play at second base. Evaded the short hop, let it come to him, and the quick release to first to get the runner. And now the Mastodons with some momentum after tying up the game in their at-bats, holding Galway, and now get to go to the sticks again.
It's the third out Denny's directly been involved in. 3 outs in this one so far. And so I'll turn things back over. Now entering into the top of the 6th. We'll take one more chance to thank a few more of our sponsors as we get to the real tail end of this game. Big shout out to MHBC, that's McNaughton, Hempson, Britton Clarkson Planning Limited, the City of Kitchener, City of Waterloo, Molson's as well, obviously a big fan favorite of those in attendance. Explore Waterloo, and Wood Rescue Canada. Again, big shout out to all those sponsors here during this entire tournament. All this would not be possible without their support. And so that's Cleary back on the mound once again. Booma in the box. He's 2 for 2 in this one. That one swung on, driven over towards left field, but right into the glove of the left fielder. A very quick first out. Again, good tracking from Pomeroy over in left. A very efficient out. So that'll bring up the shortstop, Rowan Sears. 0 for 2 in this one. A fielder's choice back in the second. As that one's upstairs. Struck out back in the 4th. So no men on, 1 out here, top of 6, an even 3-3 ball game between these tense Mastodons and the Galway Hitmen. Next pitch upstairs. A quick hitter-friendly 2-0 count. Cleary taking the time to scrape down a bit of the mound. This is Cleary's 20th pitch since he came in. And that one swung on and missed. Hopewell, the left-handed batter on deck. Of course, both teams now looking to break this tie once again. Next one called strike, inner part of the plate. And again, you're watching the Softball Canada Men's Fast Pitch Championships at Peter Hallman Ball-Yard, presented by Kitchener Fastball Promotions. Thank you so much for tuning in. The count even 2-2. That one swung on, drilled past the pitcher over to the shortstop, makes the throw to first. And two very clean outs so far to get things going here in the top of the sixth.
Shane Boland pretty automatic at the shortstop position. Played that ground ball perfectly.
Been very good defensively over there at short. Of course, that likely comes down to those lessons absolutely grained in their heads. I'm sure fundamentals is a key word they've heard over and over at practices. So 2 outs now. First pitch catches the zone.
So Hopewell with a strikeout back in the second. He was lifted for a pinch hitter in the fifth. That's when the Mastodons got things going and scored 3. So officially, this is Hopewell's second plate appearance of the game.
Next pitch comes in, swung on, drilled right past the second baseman. It touches the grass over in right field. And he'll get things going with a single, now with 2 outs.
Makes his return to the lineup count with that solid single.
You know what? Not terribly different than Stewart's swing as well. He hit to a pretty similar spot as well. I think Stewart got a little bit more lift on it, but both end up touching the grass over in right field. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Levi Denny. He's 1 for 2. A bunt single. Ended up coming around to score in the 5th and a strikeout back in the 3rd.
Two-way, don't think you'll see him bunt here.
I think you're exactly right. A pretty unlikely scenario.
Although infield's playing back, so.
Anything could happen. Next one. That's down outside the strike zone for ball 1. So 2 outs now, top of 6, an even ball game, 3-3 the score. The 1-0 pitch coming in. That one swung on, hit hard but foul. Looks like Denny was a little late on the swing. Looks like he didn't barrel up too much either. Kind of wins to himself. Might have rattled the bat a bit on that swing. Defense once again playing fairly straight up in this one. No major shifts in either direction. Cleary gets set. The pitch down and away. Trying to induce some swing and miss on that one, but doesn't get a bite. Brings it to a 2-1 count. Hopewell still over on first.
A lot of room down that right field line if he can lift it over the first baseman. Lot of space.
Won't take too much at all to try and drive in this run, break the tie. Next one, just a bit outside. The catcher O'Leary trying to frame that one up, doesn't get the call to go the way of his pitcher. The count now 3-1. Cleary getting set. He has the pitch he's looking for. And that one drilled down the third base line. The third baseman not able to pick it up cleanly, though. And that's Marr over there. One hit a little too hard at him, not able to get it. And he'll advance Hopewell over to second.
We saw a similar play back in the third when the ball went down the third baseline off the bat of Shane Boland, and that was an E5 situation. Could see another error pop on the board to allow the runner to get to first. We'll wait for the official scorecard, but back to the top of the order for the Mastodons.
A few of these being some pretty costly errors late in the game. Of course, that missed throw from right field, allowing a run to score. So still 2 outs now, 2 men on, 1 in scoring position. First pitch coming in. That one's a bit outside, but no, still catches the corner of the plate there. Turn things over back to the top of the lineup. Nick White double-checked with the home plate umpire just to see exactly where that pitch landed in the zone. He thought it was a little bit outside. Cleary ready. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, foul back.
And that was the pitch for White to drive. Just stayed right in the zone, and White couldn't get the full barrel of the bat onto the ball.
A good amount of velocity on it, but yeah, not a lot of movement. That's the cookie that you really want to clobber at this part of the game. Not going to get too many of those pitches. So White in the plate. Hopewell at second. Denny at first. Chance to break things open with a hit. And the next pitch. And again, just a bit too far off the plate. Really trying to command that outer part of the strike zone. He's gotten a couple calls in both directions now. So 1-2 count. Still a close ball game. Cleary calls time. We were talking close to the start of the game how important these runs can be, and that's really just going to keep growing as we start getting through the rest of this one. 3-0 lead at one point, turned around pretty quick. The Mastodons really rallying. A chance to do so once again. The 1-2 pitch. And that one, strike 3 on the swing. A pivotal strikeout for Cleary to strand 2 runners on the bases. So that'll send us to the bottom of the 6th now. Still a tie ball game between the Galway Hitmen and the East Hants Mastodons. A very tight one. Thank you so much for tuning in. A very, very fun game across the board. Love these nice, consistent, confident games between these two teams, really showing flashes of just how they got this far in the playoffs throughout this game. A couple misplays here and there. Not the cleanest at times, but that's ball for you sometimes. All these fans, all these friends and family in attendance really know what that looks like, really know what it means. And we're getting a full display of what these games look like here in the playoffs. So it'll be Pierce back on the mound once again. Very efficient so far since he came in. No runs scored since he popped in. 4 strikeouts so far. Not too much in the way of hard contact. Maybe 1 sharp liner in the last inning, but I think that was about it. Everything else has been pretty clear. So Galway, the chance to try and break this tie now. As Kavanaugh in the box, he takes a called strike 1. The 0-1 pitch. That one drops in. A quick 0-2 count. Ryan Marr starting to warm up. He'll be up next. The 0-2 pitch. That one's to bid upstairs. Got the little nod from his catcher, Patton. Exactly where they wanted it. Try and get a swing and a miss on a high fastball. And the next one swung on. It goes towards past the shortstop. The second baseman makes a jumping leap to try and get the out, but not in time. Plenty of speed from Kavanaugh out the box. A great attempt, some great athleticism from the second baseman. Able to get there, make the jump throw. Just not quite in time. So Kavanaugh, the go-ahead run, he's over at first. That'll bring up Ryan Marr, the third baseman once again. He's struck out twice in this one. As that one's showing bunt on the first one, but fouls back.
A lot of the times, the team that comes out on top is the one that can execute the best. Missed opportunity there to bunt the runner up to second.
So the best start of the inning, really, that Galway can have. A runner in scoring position. Showing bunt once again. Just gets a bit too on top of it. That one goes foul once again. So a single from Kavanaugh gets him on. Once again, a good attempt at the play from the second baseman, Denny. A leaping attempt to try and get that out. Next pitch, upstairs called, strike 3. Marr not too happy. He takes his time walking out of the box. An important strikeout here, I believe the 5th for Pierce so far. And the next one, that one upstairs. Cleary now in the box. That one, they appealed a swing over to the first base umpire. They really did not swing, so that'll be a ball. And leaving things up at 1-1. One out here. Still a tie ball game. So that one's a bit too far downstairs. So Cleary in the box, Corbett on deck, and then it'll turn back over to the top of the lineup as that one's upstairs. Hits the part of the zone for strike 2, evening things up at 2 apiece. So Pierce ready, the 2-2 pitch. Bit of a check swing foul. That one well lifted. Could hear the little ping off the seats. Plenty of tension in this one now. 3-3 game, do or die for these two teams. First part of the game really flew by. Started to slow down really late. And that's another called strike 3, back-to-back strikeouts. Really an impressive show for Pierce so far. Been absolutely dominant since he came in.
7 strikeouts in 4 innings. He's been able to keep the hitman off the board. Job's not done yet, though.
And so once again, that'll be Corbett back in the box, the left-handed hitter. He's in right field for this one. That pitch swung on. A lot of movement on that one, able to foul it off. Again, Kavanaugh over at first. He led off the inning with a sharp single. Pierce set on the mound. The pitch. Now on another check swing foul just down the line, but foul. So if Corbett's able to get on this one, that'll turn the order over once again. Boland starting to warm up in the batter's box. Next pitch from Pierce, that one very, very low, almost skips off the dirt. First ball of the at-bat, now 1-2. Kavanaugh, the go-ahead run. Still hoping to break this even 3-3 tie. That one off speed, gets him in front of it. Another strikeout, 3 back-to-back strikeouts. Pierce looking dominant, very impressive in this one.
Well, they went to Pierce, and he's done the job so far for the Mastodons. Definitely has given them a chance to get back into the game and now a chance to take the lead. 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up in the top of the 7th for the visiting team.
Very, very close game. We've been talking throughout just how close these teams really are. And really, it's come down to the scoreboard showing exactly that. 3-3 right now. Leads changing throughout the course of the game. Looks like we're still going to see Cleary on the mound. As things turn over once again, the hitman heading out to the field.
Just a reminder, following this game tonight, it will be the Toronto Batmen and the Saskatoon Jacks as the day wraps up here on a Saturday at the Peter Holman Ball Yard. Winner of that contest will advance straight to the gold medal final.
And that'll be a lot of fun. Be sure to check things out. All these games still continuing into tomorrow as well. No games on the holiday Monday, but still a whole lot of fun before then. And so that'll turn things back over. Cam Patton now in the box, the right-handed hitter. He's the catcher. Patton 2 for 3 in this one. As that one doesn't go their way. Ball 1. O'Leary really tried to frame that one up.
There's been a lot of slow walks back to get set up.
Yeah, almost been a bit of a consistency since Cleary came into the game. Really trying to slow the pace of play down. The 1-0 pitch. That one swung on over the glove of the catcher. The second baseman catches it, makes the turn, able to get the out in time. Patton just not quick enough to run it down. An impressive play. Kavanaugh coming in, able to rotate, pivot over the throw to first.
So much happening on that play. The ball tipped off Cleary's glove. Boland tried to cut across in front, but couldn't get there in time. And Kavanaugh had a whole lot of traffic in front of him, then had the physical capability to twist with the throw and get the runner at first. Amazing. Put a star beside that play.
You make it sound so tough, but I guarantee physically standing there in the play, oh, even tougher. That one drops in for a strike. That's Travis Nevin back in the box once again. So 1 out here, top of the 7th. The Mastodons would love to break this one open, shatter this tie ball game. As Cleary gets set on the mound. That pitch coming in, swing and a miss. That'll be a quick 0-2. Once again, high pressure, starting to hear all the cheers from the crowd. They know how much is really riding on this game. Score remains 3-3. Nevin in the box. Brody Fraser on deck. Next one downstairs out of the zone.
Yeah, that one got away from Cleary a little bit. Not where he wanted it.
Sometimes on similar pitches, you could try and get a bit of swing and miss, especially if it moves away from the batter like that. That one didn't really have quite as much of a chance. Yeah, it looks like it just got away from him. Count now 1-2. 1 out now in the inning. That one swing and a miss, a big strikeout. And a quick 2 outs here for the first 2 batters in the top of the 7th. I believe that's now Cleary's 3rd strikeout in the contest since he came in. That'll bring up Fraser. Left-handed batter in the box. 1 for 3 so far with an RBI. He's set. Cleary, he's got his pitch. And the first pitch of the at-bat swung on, foul in the dirt. The Mastodons would love to try and get at least a run here. Not give any potential to the hitman to try and walk it off in the bottom of the 7th. So no one on, 2 outs. The count 0-1. The pitch coming in. That one catches the bottom of the zone. Great location there on that pitch. Fraser now down 0-2 in the count. A big pitch coming here on the next one. It's Cleary set. And the 0-2 pitch. That one just a bit outside. The catcher, O'Leary, not able to keep it. Luckily, no men on, no danger there.
That actually looked like it caught him on the outside of the hand and not even the glove. He'll be okay.
That one, Coffin, hurt a little bit more than you'd think it would, depending on where exactly that was that hit him. Count 1-2. Cleary has his pitch. He's set. That one just a bit too high upstairs, doesn't fall into the plate. So started off 0-2, things now even, 2-2. So no one on, 2 out, top of 7. The count 2-2. Fraser looking to keep things going. That one catches the bottom of the strike zone. Another strikeout. Back-to-back for Cleary on this one. 3 up, 3 down in a crucial, well, probably one of the most important innings of the game so far. As things turn back over to the Galway Hitmen in the bottom of the 7th.
What a time for Cleary to find his zone. Striking out 2, got a great defensive play from Kavanagh in behind him at second base for one of the outs. And now the Galway Hitmen in a good spot. 1, 2, and 3 in the lineup coming up to the plate to try to walk this off. But Pierce has been very good so far tonight.
Galway got off to the early lead earlier in the game. The Mastodons came back, tied it up. The Hitmen would like to end this game like it started. The chance to walk it off here, bottom 7. And again, you're watching the Softball Canada Men's Fast Pitch Championships here at Peter Hallman Ball Yard, presented by Kitchener Fastball Promotions. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Justin Kohler, been up in the box this whole time, joined by Steve Sabrin. Really appreciate having you here. That pitch, swing and a miss for Boland to get things going.
Healthy cut there by Boland. Again, expect the Galloway hitman to be aggressive at the plate here to try to get that winning run.
So an important time here. Boland, the right-hander, set, swung but foul. Grounder down the third base side.
Again, the winner of this game will go on to face the Sook Loggers as the BC team beat the Bear Creek Express late this afternoon, 11-10, eliminating the Express from contention.
The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed. That one upstairs. Sits him down for the first one, a big first out. As the Mastodons hope to try and force extras. That one swung on. Just barely goes foul. Everyone kind of looking in. The first baseman, Boomer, looking to figure out where exactly that went. A late call, I believe, arguing that the home plate umpire didn't motion that it went foul. That's some new life for Pomeroy here. Pierce now up to 61 pitches. That one, once again, drilled a little harder, but still foul. Pierce was his 8th strikeout for Boland. Incredible stuff so far. Just one walk handed out as well. He's really had a fairly efficient 4 1/3 innings. And again, Pomeroy 1 for 2 in the game so far. Would like to tack on another hit in a pretty crucial time. 1-2 the count. That one, another strikeout just on the outer part of the plate. For those looking at the numbers at home, I believe that is now 5 in a row. 5 strikeouts back to back to back here. So Brad Ezekiel, incredibly clutch so far in this one. A 2 RBI double back in the third. Big swing and a miss.
He definitely has the power to put this game away with one swing of the bat. Pierce will have to be careful.
Next one, an off-speed one upstairs, falls back into the zone. Great pitch mix from Pierce.
A lot of confidence in Pierce's delivery right now, and he has the batter at 0-2.
That one downstairs. Not able to get the swing and miss, 1-2. But yeah, you put it in a great way. It takes a lot of confidence to leave an off speed up in the zone in any case, especially to a big power hitter like Ezekiel. It's a very, very bold move. As that one once again down in the dirt, evening things up at 2-2. Once again, we're seeing the shift on him. Lots of pitches likely on the inner part of the plate. Next one, swing and a miss. 2 back-to-back innings, 6 strikeouts, striking out the side twice in a row. Incredible stuff from Pierce, his 10th strikeout. And just like that, we go to extras. The top of the 8th on the way next.
An unbelievable game here. Galloway taking a 3-0 lead. That back in the third inning. The Mastodons using their 5th to tie things up. And now we are going to the 8th. international tie-breaking rule should be in effect here, which means Brody Frazier should be the runner at second base unless the Mastodons make a little bit of a switch. And it's going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters coming up to the plate for the Mastodons.
Cleary back on the mound. The first one he'll see. Kroll, he's 0 for 3 in this one. Of course, unless things change, still bench options available to come in as well. We'll see how this one shakes up.
So sure enough, the Mastodons going to their bench once again. It'll be Tyler Williams setting up at second base as the runner. And Colby Kroll coming up to the plate to lead things off.
Sometimes all it'll take is one. A tie ball game. The second prolonged tie we've seen in this one. These two teams were neck and neck. No runs for a good chunk of time. Then it broke open. Tied up once again by the Mastodons, and now it's been sitting 3-3 for a few innings now.
The Mastodons have been the better team tonight when it comes down to the short game. A couple of very good bunts for the Mastodons. We'll see what they do here.
Some great mental toughness from the Mastodons as well, able to come back as much as they did. With how neck and neck these two teams were for so long to really start things off. A 3-0 lead for the Hitmen really pushed things away, almost made it seem really, really tough for the Mastodons to come back. Impressive to tie things up and now force extras. As that first pitch falls into the zone for a strike.
So no sign of a bunt from the leadoff hitter at this point. Corners will start back.
Marr at third, just a little in front of the bag right now. Same with the first baseman, that's Walsh. He's inching a little bit closer right now as Cleary gets set for the pitch. That one swung on and missed. 0-2 the count early. Callum Bouma warming up. He's on deck. Kroll set once again in the box. An unout top of the 8th. The 0-2 pitch swung on, fouled back. Good contact to stay alive for Kroll. Really beautiful night here in Kitchener, Ontario. See that moon almost right up ahead of center field off in the distance. A high pressure situation, now in extra innings in this do or die game. Next pitch swung on, missed. That's a strikeout to kick things off. It's 3 strikeouts in a row now for Cleary. Really turning things up as the game's been progressing. That his 4th strikeout in this contest. Excuse me, 5th strikeout now. Callum Bouma, the left-handed batter in the box now. The first baseman in this one, he gets set. The pitch drilled over to the shortstop, not able to collect it cleanly. Man on second, not able to make the jump back over to second base. He's called out. Made a little bit of a jump over towards third, but that ball bouncing off the shortstop, ranges up. Not far enough for him to try and trek over towards third. Instead, pivots back to second, and he's called out.
What a play again by Kavanaugh. The ball hard off Boland. He's going to have to walk that off as it got him right off the leg. Seems to be okay. Just a stunner. But heads up by Kavanaugh to get the rebound and tag the runner. Williams would have been better off to go straight to the bag instead of trying to stop for whatever reason. And because at that point in time, if it's a clean liner caught, he was in no man's land anyway.
Yeah, really that stop, that kind of halt of any momentum really just put him out there.
He basically ran back into the tag, trying to get back to second base. So Mastodons have a runner at first, but there's 2 away.
A really tough base running decision there. As Woodworth now in, the right-handed batter. He's into the game. His first at-bat in this contest, swing and a miss.
Yeah, it looks like the Mastodons have gone through almost their entire bench. Just David Watson having yet to see any action, number 22. Saw him warming up in the right field area last inning.
Really going through all the tools in the belt in this one. As that one catches the bottom of the plate. I'll bring it to a 1-2 count. For Cleary, that is now his 53rd pitch. Been very efficient, especially through the last 2 innings. So man on first, that's Booma. Woodworth in the box. Both teams looking for a run to break this tie in extras. Next one swung on, fouled back. Stays alive. Plenty of pressure starting to build. A lot of tension between these teams right now. No one wants to go home quite yet. Cleary, he's getting set. He's got the pitch he wants. 1-2 the count. Swing and a miss. And suddenly that's 3 up, 3 down in a bit of an unconventional way. 6 strikeouts now for Cleary. Tough base running call. Got that ghost runner on second out. Now things turn over once again to the bottom of the 8th. We'll see how things shake up here. I believe as of now, Ezekiel is the one in line to be out at second base. Once again, we'll see if any runners come in that case.
Still some legs available on the Galway bench. And it will be Pierce back to work for the Mastodons. And he's going to face some tough hitters in Walsh, Hill, and Kavanaugh.
Pierce coming out once again. He's been lights out since he came in. Plenty of strikeouts, really racking him up. Now touching double-digit strikeouts after striking out Ezekiel to end the bottom of the 7th.
And the Mastodons are going to elect to intentionally walk Walsh, which makes perfect sense. With the runner starting at second, that's the important run. So now it sets up a force play at any bag, first, second, or third.
Again, all it'll take is 1 now in the bottom of the inning to break this game open. So all that runner over at first does is institute the force, increase the chance of getting it out at the closest bag. As that one bunted over to the pitcher, Pierce makes the throw to first, gets the easy out, but that advances the runners. The winning run, the walk-off run, now just 60 feet away. One base separating the Galway Hitmen, and a walk-off victory tonight.
So they'll have a little bit of a talk here. I would say you're going to walk Kavanaugh. Intentionally walk Kavanaugh, load the bases, because then you get the force out at home. Or a double play, which will take you out of the inning. And they're going to send him.
I believe that'll bring up Marr. Might have a pinch hitter here, though. Marr was 0 for 3 in this one. See what option
All
they end
3
up going
strikeouts, too. And they're going to bring in a pinch hitter in Marshall. Number 7, Doug Marshall, will step into the batter's box and face Pierce. So, what a storyline for Marshall. You come in with a chance to win it for your team. And remember, coming into this 8th inning, Pierce had retired 6 consecutive batters via the strikeout. So we know he can find the zone.
He's got the stuff. He's been incredibly impressive tonight. Now bases loaded. Again, that's Ezekiel over on third. The go-ahead walk-off run. And that's Walsh at second.
Even
Kavanaugh.
a deep sack fly.
That one drilled over, gets past the glove of the third baseman, and that's it. It's game over. A big walk-off hit. Amazing stuff in this one. A close ball game all around. Marshall coming in for the pinch hit. A big walk-off in grand fashion.
A 4-3 win by the Galway Hitmen. They took a 3-0 lead in the third. The Mastodons came back in the 6th to tie things up. Or the 5th, pardon me. And had their opportunities in the extra inning. But it's going to be the Galway Hitmen advancing to face the Loggers out of Souk BC tomorrow to try to stay alive in this playoff push.
The final score, 4-3. Of course, Galway walking it off in epic fashion. They wrap things up with 4 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors in the game. And of course, you got to give a big shout out to the Mastodons as well. What a way to come back as they did to really force this game into extras. They wrap things up, 3 runs, 9 hits, 1 error in the game as well. Both those pitchers, Pierce and Clearly, really ramping things up as this one went on. Impressive stuff, whole lot of strikeouts. Pierce ended up getting through 5 1/3, just gave up 3 hits, struck out 10 batters and walked 3. Ended up throwing 72 pitches, 50 of those fell into the zone for a strike. And then Cleary, he wrapped up the ball game as well. He ended up pitching 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 6 strikeouts. Ended up throwing 55 pitches, 39 of those strikes. And so that'll wrap things up in this one. Galway move on. The Mastodons officially out of this one. 4-3 the final score. This wraps up this one here for the Softball Canada Men's Fast Pitch Championships here at Peter Hallman Ball Yard, presented by Kitchener Fastball Promotions. Thank you so much for watching the broadcast here on CCDTV. That's Conestoga College Digital TV. Once again, I'm Justin Kohler. I was joined by Steve Sabarin for this one. We'll see you in the next one. Next game coming right up. Be sure to stay tuned.